Hey guys, welcome back to the DX Gamer Show. My name is OperationDx, and we are here on Wednesday, March 27th, 2013. Welcome to episode 3 in my Simcity Let's Play. In this episode, we're going to focus on getting our city a little bit more specialized. We're going to start working on mining that ore and valuable coal and that kind of thing. So what we're doing here is we are looking at our import-export facility, and we just plopped down 2 places where we can store some coal, because that is the first thing that we're going to build in this. Is we're going to build a coal mine. So for now, we're just going to leave our coal power plant alone and just allow it to keep importing the coal, and then later we'll disable that when we've got enough built up locally. And this is pretty much a benefit from the last episode. You're seeing my industrial start to not only tech up, but it's just starting to get a little more dense and allow us more jobs for my workers and stuff as my workers start to fill up as well. And my population, actually probably this episode is going to boom probably for about 15,000 up to maybe past 30 or 45,000, hopefully maybe even more. I think we're probably going to target about maybe 60 to 80,000 people in the city. We'll kind of see how it goes as it plays out. So one of the things you've got to really kind of keep in the back of your mind as you're starting to specialize your city is the major buildings, such as the coal building or the ore mine, take a lot of electricity and they take a lot of water. And you got to be mindful of this, is because as your city, like this particular moment, my city's starting to get more dense, which already draws on those things more, and that impacts my service supply quite a bit. And then on top of that, when you're adding in the coal and ore mine, they're actually going to tax those systems a lot. So you got to keep an eye on them and fill them in as you need. At this point, you should be making quite a bit of money if you kind of follow this kind of thing that I'm doing here, and it's not really going to be a big deal at all. In fact, very shortly, we're going to start making so much money, it's going to be out of control. So I'm not sure if we're actually going to be making money hand over fist in this particular episode, but we're laying the foundation and groundwork for that to happen. Once you start moving in this area in the industry city, you should be making a lot of money. So here we are. We're basically plopping down our first coal mine, and I'm clearing out this area because I want to try to maximize on this spot here. And another thing I like to do is when I get to the point where I'm going to plop this thing down, I like to upgrade it as far as I possibly can. I mean, the more mines you got going, the more money you're going to be making, because the more coal you're going to be producing. Now, of course, you've also got to realize at this moment, though, my power plant requires coal, and I'd like to cut off the import so I can save that extra money, and like any amount of coal that's exported is just pure profit from that point on. Now, as far as the finite resource system is going, I'm not sure exactly how that works in this game as far as coal and ore. I don't know if they actually ever run out, if they dry up completely, or if it slowly fills during the course of the game. I don't know. Personally, I haven't played any one particular city that happened to at all to me. I see the number and it says, well, you have 21 months left of coal, and I don't know if that is like it and that's all you're ever gonna get, or if it backfills. So in any situation, by the time we get the later aspects of the city where we're actually producing electronics, if that did ever in fact happen, you could just theoretically import the base resources, smelt those, create the alloys, and go about your business without too much interruption. You will take a little bit hit for those base resources, but as long as you're doing most of the manufacturing process, it shouldn't be an issue. So you see me D-zone, and then I rezoned residential here, and then now I'm D-zoning again to make a commercial. I'm actually kind of jumping the gun here as far as what I'm doing, because I keep looking at that the meter that says how many people are unsatisfied and shoppers and stuff, and sometimes I try to satisfy that a little too early because, you know, at this point the city is just going to be rapidly growing and growing and growing, and it's not really necessary to do those kind of things. Although, you know, I'm trying to avoid like running into a lot of abandoned houses, so I don't have to do a ton of housekeeping on the city. But, you know, you're probably going to run into that no matter what, especially with this type of city. Awesome. So now that our coal mine is up and running, we can start exporting that coal to start making a little bit of cash. And you know, it's kind of cool. You know, I'm going to go ahead and hit the specialization, and we'll click on the just the export specialization, and it's kind of cool. You can just watch the truck come in. So here's a truck just moving into the city, and he's making his way over to my export facility, and then bam, just like that, I just made 4,000 off coal, and that took just a couple of minutes to start making money off that, which is excellent. And then we can start really moving into the bigger stuff because we're going to start making some good money. So a little bit down the line, we got to start thinking ahead. We're going to, you know, get our processor facility and stuff. So we need to have alloys, and in order to make alloys, you need to smelt the coal and ore. So we're going to go ahead and build our ore mine. And as you can see, I accidentally built my power plant because I should have been paying a better attention on top of the ore mine spot. I'm probably not going to have an ore mine spot on the other place, but I may, depending on how much you know, we need as far as processors and TVs go. But I'm gonna have to go ahead and place another coal power plant, and unfortunately I'm going to have to bulldoze the one that I placed previously, and you know, it's extremely wasteful, especially that these things cost about 17,000, but at this point, like I said, like, it really shouldn't matter. And here is a perfect reason why in the first episode I had mentioned that I like to leave those gaps on the side of the roads. Now, I didn't make this particular gap. This was actually already pre-done in the city because the highway runs right through the bottom part or the top part of the city. But they're great places to stick services. So later on, you know, we'll have other facilities and manufacturing stuff on the outskirts there, and then you can save the room on the inside to build up your city and stuff. So another direct result of building these coal mines and ore mines and maximizing them as far as their upgrades and stuff is they produce a lot of jobs. So you really can start wiping out your industry, and that's pretty much what we're going to do here. We've already got some of our industry built up where we're actually going to place our ore mine, and I'm pretty sure the ore mine it's not going to even phase our city as far as that's concerned, because we have like probably so many excess jobs right now that it's just a non-issue. However, at this moment, one of the major problems I'm actually having right now in the city is the unsatisfied shoppers, and we're probably going to have to focus on that a little bit later. But like I said, we got to wait for stuff to fill in before we start rearranging our, you know, zoning for commercial residential. I mean, industry's covered when you start doing the specialization stuff. Another cool thing that this does too is, like, you don't need to have those import-export kind of extra things on your exports things. You can totally specialize and make them what they need to be, and you can basically bulldoze that first import-export thing on your building, and then you can have like either 2 coal, 2 ore, you know, the alloy or plastic or whatever you need, basically. So another thing, like, you can see me, I'm placing the locations for the trucks, and I like to maximize these things as much as possible. So basically what those buildings do is they'll take the mined ore or coal over to the import-export facility, or in the coal mines purpose or instance, they'll take theirs over to the power plant before they'll take it to, say, the import-export. Now, the trucks on the import-export building will move stuff that's in there to, say, the processor facility that needs, like, alloys or whatever. So when you upgrade and build the trucks on that, that's where those go. Just for, you know, tip, reference, whatever. Something else you may notice that I do is I always try to build inwards and save on space. Eventually, space becomes a very important thing, and like any real estate you have left over, you know, is important, and you might find yourself rearranging certain buildings to try to get that, you know, little extra precious space. You know, it's hard to save space on, you know, something like we're looking at the ore mine, where you got to have those things, you know, pretty much in the optimal position to try to mine the resources. But also, all that space along the outskirts of my city is all space for like specialization and stuff. That's what that's for. In preparation of future expansion, I'm actually going to build a second and possibly later on build a third export facility. Now, later on, this is going to play a very important role, especially when you're trying to upgrade certain buildings to allow other buildings. So, for instance, in order to get the smelting facility, we're going to need to sell a certain amount of ore every day. Now, if you're not producing enough ore to sell that particular value in a day, you don't have to worry about it. What you need to do is you need to build a couple of export facilities and stock up the resources. Don't export for a little bit, and then you allow everything to kind of fill up, and then you just let the floodgates open, and like you'll make that particular amount of money for that day. Later on in electronics, you need like $1.5 million to upgrade to the TV and computer plant, and that's exactly what you need to do. You need to store and hoard as many processors as possible, and then you just let it loose, and then all the trucks start coming in, and you easily make your $1.5 million for that day, and then you can do stuff. It's kind of silly to like sit there and expect you to have, you know, 5 or 6 or 8 processor facilities to try to get that $1.5 million, because it's just silly as far as like it just requires so much space. It's kind of stupid. So that's what you got to do. You got to just kind of hoard the resources for a little bit and then just let it go. Awesome. And now that we are, you know, really starting to get our specialization going, that's pretty much going to be it for this particular episode. Thank you for watching the DX Gamer Show and my SimCity Let's Play. I'll see you guys for the next episode. Thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys later.